Hello and welcome to TM Travel Tips. My name is Thea Martin, and I'd want to show you the top 12 most beautiful spots in England today. Let's get started and have fun with the show. England's most gorgeous locations. England is a place that delights at every turn, from meandering rivers and canals with immobile herons and hardly moving ships to cathedral cities, with historic universities and academics on bicycles. 1. The North York Moors, Yorkshire. This coastal national park has it all: Yorkshire's wild and magnificent rolling hills, invaded by pastoral valleys like Rosedale, replete with historic mine workings on the valley slopes. From Pickering to Grosmont, a vintage steam train clambers across the hills, coughing and puffing as it goes. Whitby is a bustling seaside town known for its fish and chips, Dracula ties, and ruined abbey. Then there's the Coastal Trail, which winds its way from protected beaches to rugged headlands with breathtaking vistas. 2. Grasmere and Ambleside, Cumbria. These two towns capture everything wonderful about the Lake District. Grasmere is all genteel sumptuousness, with its bijou spangle of water, boutique shopping, sophisticated dining, and literary excursions to Wordsworth's cottage. Meanwhile, more businesslike Ambleside, with its adventure outfitters, is at the north end of the busy and largest of the English lakes, Windermere. A short hard hike up through rocky knolls to Lowrig Fell provides a bird's-eye perspective of everything, with breathtaking views of Windermere's serpentine length and the Langdale Pikes. 3. Chatsworth and Haddon, Derbyshire. The styles and periods of England's aristocratic rural mansions are diverse. Chatsworth House, for example, which dominates its own river valley inside the Peak District, is a luxurious family-owned house that makes the most of its primarily 18th century assets with tours, walks, and events. Meanwhile, a few valleys away, you can travel back in time to 13th century Haddon Hall, one of the UK's best-preserved medieval buildings, with its banqueting hall, Tudor-painted ceilings, and Elizabethan walled gardens. 4. Bath, Somerset. Bath, with its Roman baths and Georgian crescents, is cradled in Hills Inn, its own little universe, as viewed by Jane Austen, a world evocative of ball dresses and chattering aristocracy. The city's scenic charm stems from the creamy gold Bath stone and honeycomb of Palladian-influenced terracing that rises in curved waves up the slopes. A river and a canal wind through, and at the heart of the city stands the old Roman thermal spa, erected around AD 75, with steam still rising from the hot spring. 5. Cotswold villages, Gloucestershire and Oxfordshire. Manor buildings, gurgling brooks, and honey-coloured stone hamlets. Tea rooms aplenty, artisan delicatessens, old cathedrals, and Bibury. The artist William Morris characterised as the most beautiful village in England. These are the Cotswolds. Remember, Bourton-on-the-Water. Water must be a rival for the most beautiful label, too. Here the River Windrush flows over a spacious green, traversed by footbridges and bordered by attractive inns. Weeping willows dangle their branches in the river, ducks wait for chips, and toasted tea cakes may be found around every corner. 6. Jurassic Coast. This UNESCO-listed length of southern coastline begins at the eastern end at Swanage, where the pillars of Old Harry Rocks overlook Poole Harbour. It travels west from here, circling wild St Aldhelm's Head and marching through fossil-rich Kimmeridge to the nearly perfect circle of Lulworth Cove and the Arch of Durdle Door. The Chesil Shingle then scythes westwards from Weymouth towards the cliffs of Charmouth and West Bay, which are noted for its crumbliness and fossil dinosaurs. Beyond there lies the Regency resort of Lyme Regis, where the French lieutenant's woman was shot. 7. Helford and Roseland, Cornwall. Cornwall isn't known for its towns, unless they're squeezed up a stream or pouring onto a bay. It's the shore that matters, Whether it's the wild and spectacular coast to the north or the creeks and headlands to the south. Both sides feature beautiful beaches, but for shelter and history, head to the south's Helford River, which served as the backdrop for Daphne du Maurier's Frenchman's Creek. The Roseland Peninsula begins at the wealthy fishing resort of St. Mawes, east of Helford. The spring gardens of Trelissick and Carehays in Cornwall are ablaze with magnolias and camellias far before the rest of the country. 8. Norfolk Coast. North Norfolk is like a watercolor picture, with land, sea, and sky blending flawlessly together. Migrating wildfowl thread the sky above, while seal colonies loll on sandbanks like rolls of abandoned carpet. Burnham Market, with its art galleries and excellent restaurants, is shockingly upscale, but perhaps that's not surprising considering the proximity of Hokum Hall, the Earl of Leicester's mansion, and Sandringham, the Queen's country estate. 9. Wye Valley, Herefordshire. Some claim that British tourism began in 1745 on the lazy, peaceful river at Ross-on-Wye, when the local rector took paying visitors out on boat rides. Today, much of the watercraft activity has shifted south to Simmons Yacht, a haven for kayakers and walkers on its high wooded banks. Meanwhile, in Ross, the town's ancient old half-timbered frontages stand back somewhat upward of the river, and it's largely bikers who follow the stream, especially its most beautiful section up beyond Hole-in-the-Wall, burrowing via back roads towards Hereford. 10. Cambridge, Cambridgeshire. Cambridgeshire's flat fens appear an unusual location for a seat of learning, yet the colleges and chapels of Cambridge live their own magical universe, huddled around the banks of the somnolent River Cam. Unlike Oxford, which can be raucous and crowded, Cambridge is a location where robed individuals emerge from ancient entrances and bicycles clatter down cobblestones. Hiring a punt and floating slowly down the backs of numerous universities, is a peep into a sophisticated, ageless world. 11. Rye and Romney Marshes, Kent, and East Sussex. Rye was formerly one of the Cinque Ports, 5 defensive ports in Kent, Sussex, and Essex named in Magna Carta, and it appears to have changed little, despite the sea's retreat. The town's lacework of galleries, patisseries, wisteria, and leaded windows is stunning. It towers over Romney's old marshlands, which have been drained and striped with wheat fields. Beyond there are the magnificent Camber Sands beaches and the strange shingle shore of Dungeness, with its peculiar fishing fleet. 12. And the last place is Test Valley, Hampshire. This seductive slice of English countryside features a network of interconnecting country roads and the bubbling gin-clear waters of some of England's most costly fishing rivers. This area, which stretches roughly from Hurstbourne Priors to Romsey, is known for its sluggish trout and lovely waterside houses. A great spot to look for renowned pubs like the Mayfly or the Peat Spade, as well as historical sites like the National Trust's Mottisfont Abbey, which has a famous rose garden. Waitrose has arrived with its Leckford estate, which has 4,000 acres of agricultural, fishing, and water gardens. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future travel advice. TM Travel Tips wishes you a pleasant journey.